Lexus is calling it quits on the car that established the luxury brand way back in 1989. 2026 will mark the end for the LS, which is the company's long-running full-size flagship sedan. For quite some time now, there were rumors going around that Lexus planned on getting rid of the LS. However, there was never any real confirmation. Not too long ago, a Lexus spokesperson even said the LS is not going anywhere anytime soon. Then around that same time, they mentioned how the ES has grown to roughly the same size as the current LS, and that this new ES will become their global flagship. But based on what we know now, it's safe to say that the LS is going away for good. For 2026, Lexus will offer something known as a Special Heritage Edition, and according to Lexus, they will only offer the Heritage Edition. Also, very few of these will be built. Supposedly, they're saying less than 300 will be built. So this final edition trim is going to be nothing more than an appearance package. And it's pretty much Lexus' way of giving a nod to the first generation LS that came out back in 1989 for the 1990 model year. This car will be finished in a new shade of black. And again, this is a nod to the black onyx paint offered back in the day. On the inside, it has a red interior, a first for the LS that puts the color on the seats and portions of the door. The center console also gets red, with the rest of the interior offering a contrasting shade of dark gray. So this special edition LS will sit on 20-inch wheels with a 20-spoke design. It seems as though all-wheel drive will be the only choice for 2026 and of course the same powertrain. So under the hood will still be that twin-turbo 3.4-liter V6 that cranks out 415 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. So let's talk a little bit about the history of this car. Around the same time in the 1980s, the big Japanese brands wanted a piece of the action with the North American luxury car market. Acura debuted in 1986 with their flagship sedan, the Legend, and they also offered a smaller and expensive car, the Integra. Then Nissan and Toyota came out with their own luxury brands. Infiniti launched in 1989. The first cars they offered were the 1990 Q45 and the smaller, less pricey 1990 M30. So similar to Infiniti, Lexus also launched in '89 with two models. Their big full-size flagship, the 1990 LS400, and a smaller, less costly alternative, the 1990 ES250. The ES was okay, but it was the LS that lured prospective buyers into the showroom. With its rear-wheel drive layout, 4-liter V8, top-notch build quality, and high-end luxury features, this car beat its German rivals even while costing thousands less. The original LS is what helped create the image of Lexus. Even if customers drove off the lot in a less expensive ES250, best believe it was the LS that drew them in. Out of the three flagship sedans, Acura was the only one that did not offer rear-wheel drive and V8 power. But after all, what else should we expect from Honda? The Infiniti was more like a Japanese 7 Series. Full-size, rear-wheel drive, offered a V8, and was luxury-oriented but had a sporty personality. But out of those three flagships, it was the LS that quickly became the go-to luxury car. The LS was around for 5 generations. The second generation came out in 1995, and a lot of people mistake this for a mid-cycle refresh, but no, this was actually a whole new LS generation. The mid-cycle refresh showed up for 1998. Then for 2001, we got the third generation. The third generation ran up until 2007 when we got the all-new LS460. The fourth generation had a long run, but it was replaced in 2018 with the LS500. The car did change quite a bit in terms of personality. This time around, Lexus was going for a sporty look and feel. Also, you could forget about the V8. A V6 was the most you could get with this big flagship. Out of all LS generations, I like the first generation the best, along with the mid-cycle refresh second generation. So, is this car only being scrapped for the North American market, or is it going to be scrapped globally? This latest generation LS was being sold in other markets, but even in those other markets, sales have been going down steeply. Recent LS sales in the US have been quite laughable, with only 691 units being sold throughout the first half of this year. With that being said, I think it's safe to assume that the car will be scrapped globally. Lexus already mentioned that the ES will fill the role of being their global flagship. So this new 2026 Heritage Edition LS will be available later in the fall at dealerships. There will not be many, only 250 are planned for production, and will be priced around $99,000. So let us know what you think about the LS going away and the ES assuming the role of flagship sedan. Do you think the ES is a worthy flagship? Or are you a little more old-fashioned and think that a genuine flagship is strictly rear-wheel drive with a minimum of 6 cylinders? Remember, this new ES no longer has the V6. Plus, a lot of people dislike the minimalistic interior of this new car. So I'm looking forward to hearing you guys' comments, and I'll catch you on the next video.